What's up, YouTube? Back here again with another video, and this is part 2 of my Bardwell wiring and setup for this board, and then ultimately the final review. So if you didn't watch part 1, I'll put the card up on the top here in the corner. Click over to that, watch part 1, and then you can pick up right here on part 2, and we can carry on. So where we are, I left off on part 2. I was having some issues over here with the capacitor bumping into the receiver, so I just took this off, tucked the receiver up under here. So now the receiver's under there, completely underneath. I was able to put this down, and I used these smaller nuts. So now we're clearing the standoff, so we should be good there. Now we got a little bit of space. I also prepped up the pads we're going to need, just so I didn't cross anything up, so I can get a little closer through the camera. So we got the ESC pads prepped and our camera lines prepped and all that good stuff prepped. So now we can start attaching the ESCs. Now if you have a 4-in-1, your setup is going to be different, but this is for 4 separate. So we got ESC Plus. This is pretty self-explanatory. We got ESC negative. All right, and then we got our signal. Oh, I got the ground here too, so you know what? We're gonna hook that up. I forgot I had the signal in the ground here. So the white is the signal. So we're gonna put that to signal 1. And then I'm gonna put a little solder on the ground pad. Now you don't necessarily need to hook up this ground wire, but they have the pad there, so why not hook it up and get the wire out of the way. And ESC ground. All right, so we can tuck that down, tuck that like this, and that's how that's going to stay. I'm gonna get these because this is the wires for the VTX. We'll get to those later. All right. I'm gonna finish the other 3. They're exactly the same way. You wanna hook up your ESC positive, your ESC negative, your ground, and your signal line. Remember to have your arrow pointing forward, so everything matches up. ESC 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll all match up good in Betaflight, and you'll be good to go. All right, so I got all 4 ESCs connected now. ESCs and grounds, positive, positive, negative, negative. Signals and our grounds, so we're all good there. The next thing I'm going to do, if I'm going to look at the back here, I can see I got my video 9-volt ground TX4. Now my Unify is connected on the bottom to the 5-volt, so all I need to hook up here is the video and the TX4 line. So again, I got weird colors on this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check this again just to really make sure I got this correct. I got yellow to 5-volt. That next black line goes to ground. Next we have, oh, I gotta see this, audio and then video. So red is going to be to the TX, and then video is going to be that black. So we are going to connect audio is red, so the red is going to go to the TX4, and you have to set all this stuff up in Betaflight. He's got a perfectly good manual, like a really good manual on how to set this up completely, so I'm not even going to go into it. Why talk about it when the maker and professional has already done it? So you can check that out. I'll leave the link below. You can get to the manual, set up smart audio and all that good stuff. So red is going to go to TX4 because that's where the smart audio is connected. And then black is going to be our video. And that's going to take the video from the board to have the OSD. All right, now I just want to tuck this under here, and I will probably strap that down. And then this is going to run like this. So that, I'm going to put a zip tie on that. Maybe a little sticky tape right there. And that's where that's going to go. So we're good with that. Next, I'm going to hook up the camera here in the front. I'm going to show you the front lines. We got, that's your camera control. So if you're going to set that up, that's like to control the settings in the camera. Then we have camera signal, 9-volt, and ground. So this is pretty simple. We got camera signal, which is yellow. And then we got 9-volt. Now this board's pretty clean, so you can go right to this pad without any regulators or nothing. Some wires that were sticking out there. And then we got ground. All right. I'm just gonna make sure that's clean. All right, so we're good with that. Now the next thing we want to do, really the last thing we have to do, is we move some of these camera wires around. This is like the extra stuff off the camera. If you're gonna hook up camera control. All right. Next thing I want to do is I'm gonna hook up, these are the wires for my receiver underneath. This is an RXSR, so it's red is positive, 5-volt, black is ground, yellow is telemetry, and green is S-bus. So everything is in the right spot. So let's tin the tip here. And all this stuff is gonna go right here. So we got telemetry, which is yellow. All right, we got S-bus, which is make sure we got the right wires here. Now, when you're doing this stuff, you know, just double check, triple check. All right, these wires go to there, and these ones go underneath. All right, so we're good. So green is S-bus, which is right next door. And then we got 5-volt. And if you were using Spectrum, that would be 3-volt. Now, whatever you decided to use on the bottom. All right, and then ground goes to ground. All right, that's pretty much it. We'll just tuck all these extra wires down in here. These are the extra camera wires off the Arrow V3, like audio and all kinds of other stuff. All right, so that is pretty much everything. Let me see, we got the buzzer. Let's see where I want to run this. I think I'm just going to run this across and let it sit right there. And then the lid will trap that in, so that'll be fine. So we can cut these wires right here. I'm going to trim these up. All right. We will prep them. All right, now, see, we got it labeled right on the side. That's positive. So positive will go to positive on the buzzer line. Oh, let's get in frame. How about that? So the positive will go to positive. And then negative will go to negative. All right, take the sticker off. All right, we'll tuck that down right here. So the lid will hold that in nice and good. All right, now, the next thing we want to do, anytime you're doing a build, is you want to continuity check. This is something I do. So it's my multimeter. We're put it in continuity mode. All right, and we're going to check, make sure we got everything in the right spot. So we're good. So nothing's touching, so we can pretty much count at this point that they aren't going to explode. And the last thing I'll do, I already kind of set this up.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Let's put an antenna on here. Alright, so we finished the build, got the buzzer in, got everything in here. Now we're going to try it out. We tested for continuity. I got an antenna on here. The next thing is, if you're going to plug this in, I have a smoke stopper here. This one's from RDQ. It was like $10 just to make sure we don't blow up. I got my receiver on, I got my screen on. Let's give it a try. Alright.
Low battery.
We got the buzzer we know worked. Everything seems to be booting up.
Telemetry lost.
Alright, the
Telemetry
receiver's too
recovered.
close.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day.
Alright, now we'll rotate. Now this should all be the correct way because it was a build before.
Engine off.
Quietly step back from the pilot and live to see another day.
Alright, I know that was a lot of noise.
Telemetry lost.
So,
Telemetry recovered.
with that done right there, that is
Telemetry
the
lost.
build in a nutshell. That's how you have to hook it up. I'm going to put it in the DVR right now, and I will give you my final thoughts on the board, the build, and all that other good stuff. And we'll talk about it. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the DVR. Enjoy my, I'll give you my opinions, and that'll be that. Here we go, flying around here. Just kind of bopping around, practicing some stuff. And, I can sum up this board pretty simply. If you're looking for an F4 board with the MCU 6000, an all-in-one style, buy this board. There's a comprehensive instruction manual to go with it to help you out with all the different little things. It works well. It's pretty easy to set up. You don't have to do many crazy things. There's one little CLI command you have to do if you're going to do telemetry, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's good. And then you can see here too, I'm also running the Predator camera, the Foxeer Predator, which is also phenomenal. And this combination here I'm really enjoying it. It's probably my favorite so far. Bardwell F4, all-in-one. It's DYS XSD 30 amp ESCs, Predator camera, and a RDQ Mach 2 or Mach 1. There might be a Mach 1 in there or an AKK, I forget. VTX there with a Foxeer Pagoda antenna, and I'm just ripping it. Oh, and hype train motors, and it's flying great. So enjoy the rest of the flight. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.